That was the wrong one. But that's okay. Oh, I guess it's just me.
Hey, me.
Hey.
What's up,
What's
man?
up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of FIGGAH, and I'm your host, Ace Smile. Joining me tonight is just Brink.
Just me.
We're running lean.
It's because it's cold.
It's fine. It's not even that cold. It's like 40 degrees today. It's spring.
Yeah, I guess. But, yeah. No, JD will be joining us later. He's on his way home.
Eric is on special assignment. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Is your wife a go? Hey, does she go? Does she go? Alrighty. Hope everybody who celebrates had a nice Christmas. I believe Hanukkah is also currently running or just finishing up. So
Yeah, I think it's finishing up.
I think it started. I think it started like Saturday, Friday or
Um,
Saturday, something like that.
I think it started 2 Mondays ago. I
It was a
think.
while ago. I thought it
So it
was
might be done. Well, it's 8 days.
and 8 nights.
And
Crazy
8 nights.
nights.
That's right.
So yeah, hope everybody had a nice holiday. This is the final show for the year, which is exciting. We actually have a couple things lined up for the next few weeks, so that's nice. I'm gonna worry.
Oh, very nice.
But we kind of got to jump right into it. JD will join us as soon as he gets in. Hopefully this fits in frame. Didn't test it, of course. Why would I do that?
We only have one shelf now in DTOF mode. That's not good. We're in DTOF mode and it's just me. It feels strange.
So you gotta you have to stand sideways. Excuse me, pardon me. Alrighty. So we kind of got to jump right into this because we got a whole lot to cover. But tonight we are doing HasLab, whatever you want to call it. I don't even. Is it technically under Legacy? I'm not sure.
I think it's under
I don't think
War
it is.
for Cybertron, right?
I think Unicron was technically under War for Cybertron. I don't know if he's technically under Legacy.
I think this might be Legacy.
Huh.
Because it makes sense, right?
It does make sense.
Yeah.
So this is the HasLab Star Saber and Victory Leo, aka Victory Saber when they're combined. And here he is in all his glory. So, to start with, he does come with, as part of the, I think, final stretch goal, the Big Whoop. And we'll talk about the stretch goals in a second. But he does come with 2 Micromasters. I don't remember their names. It's been, God, at least like 10 years since I watched Victory, so I don't remember the human. I think they're supposed to be humans. I don't remember. Honestly, it's been so long. But these are just repaints of figures we've gotten, of Micromasters we've gotten already.
Really? That's
yeah.
Kind of lame.
Yep, they're just repaints. They transform exactly how you. Oh, also this should have. The host sticks out.
All right, let's see if we can't figure out their names here. Oh, and by the way, yes, it is Legacy Evolution.
Okay.
Their
legs like to pop off at the hips.
They inserted some art in there.
Yeah. Oh, also the art is actually, the box is actually kind of cool. So it comes in a cardboard mailer, and then it comes in a slip cover. The slip cover is reversible, so there's 2 different pieces of art on it. And then on top of that, I wish they kind of they made a really cool gesture. I kind of wish they went a little bit above and beyond and just took it one step further. But they gave you one of the covers as a piece of art. like printed, but they didn't print it on like cardstock. They printed it just on cardboard, which is a little weird. Like it was nice to get that. I just wish they would have just went like the extra mile and paid the extra 35 cents and got it printed on some cardstock so you can frame it and make it look nice. I mean, I'm assuming once if you frame it, it'll probably still look nice, but just it feels, it's like nice that they did it, but they cheaped out a little bit.
So they name these, is it Holly and Fire? Does that sound right?
That sounds right. Actually, I feel like I've heard those names before. And see, they like to pop off at the hips very easily. But yeah, these are just repaints. Even got we can combine them into a gun for some reason. Remember that? Remember they did that for a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can still do that.
Did you see the Deathsaurus backers are getting some of these little dudes now too?
Yeah, I think there's supposed to be 4 of them total, and they and the other 2 are going to come with Deathsaurus, Deathsaurus, whatever. Float your boat. Technically, it's Deathsaurus. It's just when they Anglo-Saxoned them, they made them Deathsaurus, so it sounded close.
Oh, Deathsaurus.
Yeah.
Deathsaurus.
And then
Deathsaurus.
Yeah, it kind of like evolved a couple of steps down. It's like Shooter. It's like Go Shooter. We call him Go Shooter, but his name's actually Shuta, Shuta.
Oh,
but
really?
because of Japanese language, it's weird, and it ends up becoming Go Shooter.
Oh, Shooter.
So there's the Micromasters. They're repaints of, like I said, of existing figures, and they're fine. Moving on. So here he is in his glory. He does come with the blast effects. I believe these are the same blast effects that came with Omega Supreme. They're just done in green instead of yellow. So
yes,
3 parts.
I just opened Omega Supreme and
no,
I just opened the Arc actually, and these look very familiar to me as a result of that. Too.
And actually, you know what? I'm looking at Scorponok, and they're the same ones that came with Scorponok too.
There it is.
So there you go. 3 pieces. You can combine. Excuse me. Combine them up any way you want. You can put them as thrusters. You can put them as cannons. You can put them as blast effects. You know the deal. You know it. You love it. You smack it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, these are part of the Tier 1 unlock.
One of the other unlocks was the stand. The stand's got a big V for Victory logo. You can configure it. You can put it here. There's another slot back here. It's kind of meant to go. It's kind of sort of meant to go one way, like this way in vehicle mode, and another way will show in robot mode. I think technically you can do it either way, but it's more stable here. It is fairly stable. I'll show it when I take this guy off, but you actually want to peg the stand in, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Like it looks like it just cradles, like it just sits on top and it cradles, but it actually does peg in, and we'll show that. I didn't realize that at first. I'm like, this stand doesn't work, and I figured out why later. It's very secure. It's not going anywhere, but it does wobble because of the weight. So you can wobble it till the cows come home, and it's not going to come off, but it's just a little bit wobbly. But it's not going anywhere, so you can move it. So it just flops around for a second, it'll settle, and it's fine.
Gotcha.
So here he is. This is with Star Saber and Victory Leo both attached in the Super Combined mode. I don't know if that has a name.
Isn't it like the V-Star?
No, this is the V-Star.
Okay.
This specific part of the jet is the V-Star.
Okay, like the booster rockets.
Yeah, like Star Saber without the little jet in there is the V-Star. One other thing, just real quick, I didn't get around to it. For some reason, again, weird. You could have went the extra, not even mild, like the extra 10 feet and done this, but he. Ooh, I'm all like stuttery today. He comes with stickers. He comes with 2 stickers, and they're red, and they go right here. Why this red on the wing is painted? Why they didn't just put the paint right here, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe most likely what happened was they realized it after it was done, or after all the the dyes and everything were made, and like, oh crap, we forgot the red, and they just put stickers in the box. That's my guess, but
that's possible.
These pieces right here are supposed to be red. There are stickers. I just didn't get around to putting them on yet. So that's a little strange that they didn't just paint that, but I'm sure there's a reason. So yeah, so here he is, all combined up. We can pop him off the stand. So this is that peg I was talking about, this rectangular peg. So it kind of looks like it goes right here on what will be the crotch, obviously, and it goes in that slot right there. And the way it kind of sits on, it looks like it just cradles, because it does cradle that piece, but it looks like you can just let it go. But if you do, it won't really stay. You have to tab it in. So just keep that in mind. There's the stand. There's what it looks like.
How heavy is it? Does it feel like heavy, like a Titan, or heavy like maybe that Siege Skyfire? I think is that.
That's probably closer to what it feels like.
All right. And that stand, like, is it just flyable, or is it?
No. I mean, it's fairly hollow. There's some give, but it's pretty strong.
Okay.
Especially with it connected, and we'll show how to reconfigure that for robot mode when we get there. So I'm just gonna pop off all these effect pieces. We're not gonna need them anymore. So the other unlock was the cannon,
right.
And that kind of gets my goat a bit, because anybody who knows Star Saber and Victory Leo knows that that's Victory Leo's cannon. Like it always came with him. Hey, there he is.
Hi.
I
made it.
We just talked about the stand basically and the Micromasters. You didn't miss anything.
Fair enough.
It's like the original one had a little spring-loaded thing, and you can shoot bullets out of it. But like it always came with Victory Leo, and every Victory Leo that's ever been released, the 2 or 3 of them have come with his gun. So why it being an unlock is strange. I'm not crazy about that. But there's the cannon. We'll just put that to the side. Here's
does the cannon morph into, or is it just in that shape, or
no? It's a cannon. It's just a cannon. We do a couple of things when we connect them different ways, but it mostly just stays a cannon. So first of all, very swooshable jet, very secure together. Like I'm holding it just by Victory Leo. Just by the back of Victory Leo, as you can see, and it's 1,000% secure.
Nice.
Like it is absolutely just a brick when it's together.
I'm curious, Ace. The shields, does the shield make it more brickable and solidified? No. Okay.
No, and I'll show you why in a minute.
Okay. The reason why I ask is because the shield was the last unlock. So.
Yeah.
If it didn't get unlocked and that thing was a floppy mess, and all
it would look a little bit worse.
Bad. Okay.
Yeah. It would look a little bit worse, but it wouldn't affect anything.
Okay.
So yeah, we can we'll start breaking them apart here in a second. But like you can see Victory Leo's head hanging out. That's how it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. You can kind of see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But so if we pop the shield off, it's just held on by this one peg here, right there. This is all still held together. The shield does literally nothing for stability. It's just a cover. It's just so you don't lose that.
It does look a lot better with it.
Yes, it does, because it covers all that.
Man, he's holy up top, isn't he?
I mean, he kind of sort of always was, not. Well, I mean, the original one wasn't as really. It was barely articulate.
The screw holes.
Oh yeah, no. The screw holes are more visible in this mode because they have to be not visible in robot mode. So.
God, that's awful.
So if we come under here and just pry like the Dickens, this is why he's secure.
Oh, look at that.
So these tabs here, right? Yeah, peg into these. I don't even know what the hell these tabs are called. I've seen them a million times.
They're like pressure tabs.
Yeah, they're like spread apart, and then there's like a circular piece on here, and they all lock together. Oh, yeah. So that's holding that all together, and that's ridiculously secure. Even without that, we're still pretty secure.
Oh wow!
Because he's also held in with 2 tabs on the sides of his of the lion legs. So if we kind of just wiggle this all free, it should kind of slot out.
All right.
So those slots on the side of the legs,
Yeah.
they slide in these grooves. You see there's a groove right there, and then they drop into the hole and slot in. So with him out, we can actually close this piece back down. We'll move Victory Leo to the side for just a second. We can take this and just move this to here. We don't have to. And then we can just peg this back onto there if we wanted to. And then we have just Star Saber. These pieces tend to pop out a little bit in this mode, but so he's still with the shield. It kind of makes it a little bit more cohesive because otherwise you kind of see what's going on. But I believe he has. If we come under here, I don't know if there's no, there's not one in the middle. So he has these little landing struts that pop out, and that should allow us, to sit him flat on the ground.
Oh, so he touches in the back and then.
It's just kind of like in the middle.
Gotcha.
And just the bulk of it keeps it more or less flat.
I thought the helmet cannon thing at the top always looked weird on this.
Yeah, well, we'll continue with that in a minute. Let's look at Victory Leo first, because he's kind of the weaker, at least in jet mode. We're gonna turn him into a jet real quick. It only takes a second, so we're already kind of halfway there. So to turn him into a jet, this is his combined jet.
Turns into a jet too?
Yeah, it's always been lame. So you split these open. There's these little filler pieces that flip out. You close this back up, and I think that's it. And then we take the cannon, and we flip it. You can rotate that around if you want. Actually, you can flip this back. Flip the handle back. And there's a square hole right there. And when the legs join together, they make a peg. And you just kind of jam that on there. And that's a jet because we say so.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty terrible. It almost looks like he creates a handle in the front when you put those pieces out.
This is how. So the G1 did it this way. Keith's actually has like a whole nose cone that clips on as a separate piece, so it parts forms. But this was always like, he's a jet thing.
Yeah.
So that's him in jet mode. It's dumb, but it is what it is. So to turn him into a lion now, we're already most of the way there. We can fold these pieces back up, collapse that back. The legs flip around.
Me too.
So there's what do we call it? They don't lock, but there's a peg right there that sits a little lower than everything else, and that will kind of register in there, and it just kind of sits where it needs to sit. So you know where to stop, but it's not like a super secure tab. I mean, it's not going anywhere unless you want to move it, but it'll just kind of click and sit where it needs to. So there's the back legs. Guess how the front legs work? Ta-da!
Oh my!
Head comes down. Before we click the head in, we can put the tusks out a little bit like that. The mane folds out ever so slightly, just like that. It doesn't lock in anywhere really, and when you're messing with it, it tends to go back in. The mouth opens up a little bit, like that, if you want. And then these guns just rotate around to fit forward. And then and then we can also, I believe, flip that out to kind of fill the back in a little bit. And then we can take the gun. So now that we flip this handle down, actually we want to flip this back up. So there's the post for the Star Saber to hold it if you want to peg it in. If you flip that down, there's a hole. If it'll focus, there's a hole now, and now this black piece creates a clip. And if you see at this gray piece, there's a peg, and that creates like a post for it. So when we jam it on, it'll clip over everything, flex just enough to go in that post.
Flap. Oh, wrong show.
We can also, I think we also fold up the wings a little bit. So that, you can fold up the cannons however you wish. That is Victory Leo in lion mode.
It's terrible.
Simba mode.
Yeah. More convincing as a lion than as a jet.
I mean, not for nothing. He really is just a. I mean,
he was designed to do one thing and one thing only.
Right. You
the thing he does
a long time
the thing he's supposed to. The thing he has to do, he does well. It's just everything else is an add-on.
As far as I know, Victory Leo is when Jinrai died, they turned him into this guy.
So Jinrai gets killed by Death Source. He shoots. He has a giant cannon. He's like, I'm gonna shoot him now, Star Saber, and I'm gonna win. And he shoots him, and then Jinrai jumps in the way and goes, no! And he shoots him.
The living metal death cannon. Did he shoot him with that?
Some such nonsense. And Star Saber was like, "Oh, good thing I have this good idea. I've had it ready for years. I just never was able to implement it. We're gonna turn you into an upgrade for me.
You get to be my shoes.
You'll become shoes and hats."
So Wes is starting to regret not getting it. Joe S also has some regrets.
Same here. If anybody has a lead on any, I'll be into it.
Yeah. Then after he was created, he went crazy. Like they couldn't control him. He would just run. He basically harassed everybody in lion mode for a couple episodes. And then eventually they said, "No, we need you." And then he turned into a robot. He goes, "Okay." And then they combined up, and that's how you get Victory Saber.
Gotcha.
So to turn him into a robot, you can take this cannon off. So technically he has 4 modes. I forget which way these end up going. We'll figure it out in a second. Close this back up. Close the legs back up. So we're going to fold these up and then rotate this around until it clicks again. Fold it up. Rotate it around. Did I miss it? I think I missed it. So it goes there. Split the legs. Come to the back and then open up these panels. And now we're going to combine towards the legs.
Yes.
And then, so there's 2 pegs. You can see there's 2, one here and one here. So they go in both the modes. When you go back, which we will have to go back for shoes mode, if you just fold it down and try to close this, it'll never close. So what you have to do is kind of angle it up till it's lined up, till that peg is lined up with that hole, and then close them together.
Oh.
And then it'll close. So combine towards the leg. Get that upper tab in there. Combine towards the leg. Get that upper tab. Fold out the toes.
No ankle rocker?
Toe. He has toe rocker. We'll get there. Rotate the hand through. And then rotate the fist around. The first time you rotate that around, it is crazy stiff. I thought I was going to break it. But once you get it through once you rotate that the first time, it's fine. And then we take the tusks, we put the tusks to the side, close the mouth. I've heard people have problems with this little black piece.
Yeah.
That covers the face.
Too. Be careful.
So you just be careful when you rotate it, flip it up, close the mane if you want. And there he is in robot mode. You can take the cannon. You can hold the cannon.
That's terrible.
You can peg it back on the back. I think. Yeah, but it would be kind of ridiculous.
Did I miss it? But is there what's the white bits like under his chest there? Are those things that move, or is that just
No,
molded detail?
that's just molded detail.
Okay.
So his head will just rotate. It will like to come up on this little armature. So it just rotates, no up and down or side to side. Shoulders, we get out to there, around on a mushroom peg. We'll get hindered by the wings. Bicep swivel, single bend elbow, but get you more than 90. Wrist rotated on a mushroom peg, and then the fists are molded. No waist joint because of shoes mode, which we'll get there. So it does take away his waist joint. Hips, that's a shoe mode. Because of the machine guns on his hips, you do get somewhat limited, but still good. Forward, ratchet forward to there, and ratchet back all the way. And then we have
a hard ratchet, and that
is a hard ratchet.
And that doesn't do anything for the combined mode. So
it does not. That's just for his robot mode, actually. Knees, single pin, 90 degrees. And then for his feet, he has toe tilt. 90-degree toe tilt.
Fake it till you make it.
That's also for because of shoe mode. But hey, at least he can look like he's got ankle tilt. You can see what's weird is, can you do that? Oh, you can. Okay. One of the things the toy mode had was in the toy. One of the things you could do is put the cannons on his forearms, which you can do here if you wish, or you can just leave them pegged in.
Do they come up over his shoulders or peg into his shoulders?
They will come up over his shoulders.
Okay.
They won't peg into his shoulders because they have to peg in the other way for combined mode. But if you want to have them up over his shoulders, they will come up over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though in this mode, technically, he's not supposed to do that, but you can do whatever you want. You can do the goddamn toy.
Whatever.
Okay. So that is.
Wait. You got a size comparison for him?
What do you want?
I don't know. You got any chugs?
I got
There you go.
There you go.
That works. So he's what, a leader? You think?
I guess technically he's modern. He's probably modern leader.
Is that Ironhide a Voyager?
No, I don't think so. Is he?
He can't be a deluxe, right?
He might be a Voyager.
You got a Siege Prime around there? He'd probably be around that tight.
No.
Prize or okay.
I'm looking.
What about that Ultra Magnus? You got him handy?
Which one?
I don't know. You could
Siege
do Shattered Glass or.
Oh, geez, he's all the way in the back.
Oh, okay, never mind.
He's up on the shelf all the way in the back.
The Siege one?
Yes.
Wow, look at you putting toys away. Didn't we just review him? Maybe I'm crazy.
Siege?
Yeah,
I don't think we never did Siege Ultra Magnus.
Oh, well.
I don't think.
Opportunity there.
Hey, you can always go back.
Eric von Wolfenstein wants to know if the knees.
Well, all right, this guy is for sure a deluxe. Hold on.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you were right. It's probably a modern leader class.
I think they targeted him to be a modern leader and Star Saber to be a modern commander.
Do you have any leader class siege stuff out? Like I know that shoot, I don't even know.
It's all it's all up there.
Okay.
Eric wants to know if the knees are weak.
The knees. Not particularly. I get weak in the knees when I see Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
That's what Joe said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the knees aren't weak. I don't know if that's a thing that's been going around.
He's mine first.
Okay. So here is Star Saber. So first of all, his helmet is not spring-loaded or on an armature. It just pegs on, and you can pop it off.
Oh,
Hey,
parts
look at
forming.
that. Parts.
It
Oh
does
my
parts
God, we spent $180 on this.
on a parts
Ace.
former.
Parts forming. Gosh.
So we can we'll pop the shield off. Come back to that later. So here he is with the V-Star. So to release this guy, there's a button right there. And what that does is that just drops him down a little bit, ever so slightly, just so you don't scratch up anything.
Deploy. It's like he
It doesn't release it. It just literally pushes it down and you just kind of rip it out.
deploys from the bigger ship, drops
Oh,
down.
you also have to unfold these bits.
Like in that Alien movie.
So, all right, we'll put the V-Star back for a minute. So this is the kind of core robot that is Star Saber. So this guy is actually a pretty fun little, I guess, deluxe class. So if you look in the cockpit there, you can see something.
Mm-hmm.
So if we open that cockpit up,
head on.
Here is the brain of Cartridge. Is Star Saber?
Courage.
I don't remember what brain he is. I think he's a brain of Cartridge.
Brain Master, it says here. Oh, by the way, Ace, what you're holding in your hand there, this is the first Brain Master ever developed by Hasbro. Wow.
True.
History made.
So the way the original Brain Masters worked is the face was on the back, similar to that. And when you put it in the figure, it was bigger. First of all, it was bigger than this. It was closer to closer to a Power Master. It was like more like that big. And it had a little elevator in the chest. So you would open up the chest, and when you pulled the chest down, a little spring-loaded mechanism would pull down. You'd take him backwards, shove him in there, and basically on the back of him would be the bottom of the mouth. Would just be like the lower half of the faceplate. So you put him in there, and then when you close the door, it would shove it up and fill in the face. And that was the gimmick of the Brain Masters.
Did the MP do that? I think it did.
The MP does it in a different way.
In a different way. Okay.
To allow head articulation. Because that's the other thing. The Brain Masters had no head articulation because this dude was sticking up in its neck. And they lacked the technology. But now we have the technology. So like the TFC Road Caesar, the way they did it was if you use the Brain Master would work, and it would work this very similar to the G1 where you have a little elevator and shove it up. But I believe the faceplate was built into the figure, and when you put the Brain Master in, it just pushed it up. It wasn't actually on the figure, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I messed with them. Or you can pop the head off of the figure and put in articulated, because then you still wouldn't have head articulation. I think you might have got side to side with it. I don't remember. I don't even think you got that. Or you can just pop the head off and put a ball jointed head on there, and then have all the articulation you want. So Hasbro did it a little bit differently. I think they did it nice. They did it nice. They did a nice compromise for it. So here he is. He's actually painted. So that gold is painted. So he's cast. All right, put it this way: he's cast in all blue and red. So the white is all painted, and the gold chest is painted, and then this back piece is actually cast in clear, and it's all painted.
Cast in clear.
Yeah.
Why?
Because the eyes have to be clear.
The visor.
The visor. It's actually pronounced visor. Thank you.
Vizor, is it?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Pecan.
Pecan.
Mm-hmm.
So he fits in the cockpit. Keck.
Cack.
Keck.
Cack.
Cockpit opens and closes. Here he is as a little jet. He's very swooshable. So to transform him, I believe you can still use the blast effects in here. Yes, you can.
Sweet.
That's the only place. So to transform him, we start by ripping off the nose. And this is going to turn into the sword. Or the sword handle.
The hilt.
The hilt, if you fancy. Arms just swing up. This is very similar to every other Star Saber we've ever gotten. Both of them. Fists flip out.
Both of them. Is this the second one? Did you do a Planet X one or something like that?
No. Oh. Well, officially there's been the MP and this one, and G1. So we're going to combine the wars of the legs, but wait. We have new technology.
New technology.
They combine our wars. It'll unlatch. They combine our wars sideways.
What?
Dun, dun, dun.
What will they think of next?
So those come down. We got the feet the toes flip out. Those should lock in a little better. There we go. Toes flip out. I can get in there. There we go.
That's funny. What do you think? Like 5, 8 years from now, someone new's getting into Transformers. They're
gonna be like, "What is?" Finding all these little tricks. Wow, that's so cool.
They're gonna be like, "What the hell does Combiner Wars the leg mean?" What's that?
Okay, so now you notice we are sans head. We are missing head. So if we open the chest, so like I said on the G1, you would open this up. I believe the head would look similar to this, and there would be a little elevator platform in here. So the way we've done it in modern times is we take this and we just flip this up. Clear plastic. Be careful.
Yeah, be careful.
If you notice, his head now comes back here. So we take this whole bit of business. So now he's got
his
little robot heads on the back now.
Oh, so that's translucent too, and they painted it blue?
Yep.
Oh.
And we're gonna slot this in here, just like that. And now we've created the head. We've created the face. And now, so if you see this little black, if you can see the black kind of. It's almost like a coffin, I guess. I don't know what the hell you would call it, like a cradle goes around him. So that is all connected to the head. So when you move the head, that all moves together. So you do have some head articulation while keeping the Brainmaster gimmick.
You know, they didn't have to do that. That's pretty nice.
You can take the... I don't remember which shoulder it goes on. I think it goes on the left shoulder. You can peg that on there. And that is little Star Saber in there. In his robot mode. Technically, the manual says he can hold this gun. I think it's gonna be stupid to have him hold that gun because it's freaking way too big for him.
Hold it as a crutch. Cane.
But if you want that as a thing, it's a thing.
Now, in the show, Ace, I know it's been a long time since you watched it, but did he spend most of his time in this mode?
No, he spent most of his time in Star Saber mode.
Okay.
But he was seen like this. He was never seen as a Brainmaster really walking around. As opposed to like Headmasters when they actually sometimes would walk around in head mode and like as
Real quick, maybe we didn't catch this in plane mode, but are those casters on his legs?
No.
For landing gear?
No, they're that's actually a transformation joint for that piece.
Oh, okay.
And we'll get there. So, head. like I said before, we do get side-to-side rotation.
Is there light piping behind there?
No.
Come on, guys. You didn't need to make that translucent. What the hell are you doing? Fine.
Ball jointed.
Didn't want
So
to
we got
paint his
ball jointed
eyes.
shoulders and a hinge. So you can go up to there, or there's a cut, so you can go to there. So you can use any combination therein. We do have a bicep swivel. We do have a 90-degree elbow bend. We do get a waist swivel. It is impeded a bit by the backpack. But you do get more waggle than rotation. All the way forward. Back is basically as much as you need. 100% on the Van Damme. Single jointed knees get you shy of 90. With his big stomping boots.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, he does have a reverse knee joint.
I think they all do that.
No.
No.
That's a transformation. And then he does have some ankle wiggle. You get to there. So he's really a fun little dude.
Fun little dude.
Fun little dude. I'd be happy if they repainted him as something and released him in mainline.
I think he's as tall as the those twins, the Cloud Raker and
Yeah, they're about that size.
whatever the hell guy's name is. Yeah.
So now we can take the V-Star. We can take this.
Can you put that skids next to him just so we can see? Gotcha. A little bit smaller.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically a legends, a big legend, the old commander class. So we take this bit and we can fold this up, and that should, if you fold it up correctly, it'll peg in and sit up there. Fold this stuff down. So the thrusters are pegged in here, and then here, and back here. So you just kind of grab it and crack it like a chicken, like that. So, and then we also want to open up this inside panel. We're going to combiner wars again, the leg.
Oh, sideways combiner wars.
Sideways combiner wars. Close that bit of business up. Get that out of the way. Come up here. That's a spoiler for later.
Oh,
Lock that leg back in.
yeah, I'm interested in that.
Come down here, flip out the foot, and there's actually a foot and a toe piece, so you got to flip them both out, and then this is just gonna, these wings just kind of fold back like that.
Form Ronald McDonald shoes.
So again, wiggle that all out. Combine towards the leg, close it up, lock it in, bring it down. Flip out the foot and toe. And that's the lower body done.
So those thrusters are basically his heels?
Basically.
Okay.
So for the arms, we're going to open up this panel, combine towards the arm, lock it in, and then flip out the hand. There we go. So again, open, combiner, close. If I can get the hand out, flip out the hand. Also, these, I gotta lift her up. These little pieces here also move. They hinge. I think that's more for jet mode, if you want to have them shooting at something. But that is, came out. That is the V-Star in his robot mode. Oh, we also got to fold down these hip flaps. So technically, there is a base mode. So Star Saber came out 91-ish. somewhere there, 90. And if you guys remember around that time, every big Transformer had a base mode, and they were all pretty stupid.
What Transformers came out in 90? What year was that? Wait.
Power Master Prime.
All right. Gotcha.
That whole era.
Thanks.
It was a format. A lot of those were a lot of them were European and Japanese figures, like Thunder Clash. So they all had base modes. So he has a base mode. It's literally like you split his legs to the side, and you call it a base.
Right.
And so we're not even going to touch it. It's stupid.
Put his arms in the air, split his legs, and
That's a base.
yeah.
So we take this, put that to the side, and we're going to partially transform him back. So we're just going to basically put the hands away, and then we're going to leave the legs as is. We're going to fold the toes in like that. Peg the legs together. Now we're going to open these panels here, and that's what this forward knee joint is for. We're going to fold this up in half, and then so you see these two blue stripes? These tabs will sit in between them. They don't tab in, they don't lock in, it's just a guide. Actually, do they go? Is that what? Yeah, I thought that's where they go. Am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy.
Maybe I
You're
flip that
crazy.
chest around or something. Or...
No, this has to fold more. No, these have to. No, we have to close the legs. That's what it is. We got to combine awards down the legs. Yep, that's what it is. I forgot to combine awards down the legs. There we go. Now we have to pre-fold them and then tab them in.
That's where you fold before you fold.
Correct. Now those sit. There we go. So now they sit between those two grooves.
Gotcha.
These fold back, and the arms just kind of sit there. And then we take him, and this is going to be kind of hard to demonstrate, but so there's tabs right here on these gray bits, and they're going to slot into here on both sides. So what you kind of got to do is line everything up. Kind of get them lined up in those grooves like this. On both sides. Which I might have to do off camera, but we'll try to get it on camera. He's got to sit back more. There we go. Okay. So now we got to get that in that groove, that in that groove, and then squeeze it all together. There we go. Fold these back. And there you have Star Saber with a teeny tiny little head. Squish.
Little head mode.
You squish his head. Squish, 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 squish. So then we take the head, fold up the antenna, fold them out, flip down the visor, and then we just sit that right on top. And that is Star Saber.
He plugs in, the little head plugs into the base of the big head.
More or less. It just kind of grips on the sides.
Now, real quick, in the other versions of this figure, does the Star Saber head turn into the face of the bigger Star Saber head? Or...
So on every other one, on the G1, it's on an armature, and it just literally sits on the back, and then it comes up, and then the face is spring loaded, so that when you put it on the head, the faceplate automatically flips down. So the problem with that is that it's under tension when the faceplate is on. So you basically stretch out the spring over time. So people that have had this have the G1 forever and had it in robot mode, all the springs are shot. Because it's in tension that way. Gotcha. On the G1, everything was just an armature and it just lifted up and pegged on.
Oh, so you're talking about the masterpiece before that with the.
What'd I say?
I think you said G1 first.
The G1 toy.
The G1 is spring loaded. The masterpiece is just like an armature and it would just clip on top.
All right, gotcha. Yep.
So it didn't have the spring. The G1 had the spring. So we retain the same head articulation because it's the same head. It's just we got a helmet on him. So he just gets side to side.
So, I was previously going to give a criticism when I said, they didn't have to do that with the whole cradle situation, but I didn't realize that the bigger head plugged on to that head because if they hadn't done that, then the big robot, which everybody's going to keep him in,
Would have no head articulation.
Articulation. Yeah, so that's pretty. I get it. I get it now.
So the three heads are better than one.
That's right.
And they're all together right there in the head.
Yep.
We get ratcheted shoulders all the way around. We get nothing. So there's no outward articulation at the shoulder. You do get this butterfly joint,
Nice.
which is soft ratcheted. Yeah, you can see it actually right there. So it just clicks onto that. You also get a reverse butterfly.
Okay.
So and then the outward articulation is really in the bicep. So it hinges out there. You get a double bend elbow, but realistically, so the upper one is pin joint, the bottom one is ratcheted. You can kind of combine them however you want. If you want the elbow there, no matter how you slice it, you get 90 degrees.
Well, that's nice because
maybe a touch more.
It's nice that they put some kind of ratchet in there because he is going to be holding a sword, a saber, if you will. Ace, when you did the outward movement on the shoulder, it looked like there was something that moved, like some white parts, like on his shoulder. No, on the sides. Are there flaps
outside
there or something? Oh no, it's just I see it there.
No, it's just this part.
Okay.
Bicep swivel, wrist rotate, finger. So what's cool is they gave him the Jetfire fists. So if you look, he's got the retractable ring. So when you're not having him hold something, it hides.
That's neat.
So that was neat.
I remember that.
We get waist articulation all the way around.
Oh.
You get 2 clicks of an ab joint, of an ab crunch.
So you see, they had to do that. Otherwise, no one overseas would buy this.
Correct.
Because you wouldn't be able to do the crotch thrust.
You got a crotch thrust. Let's see. So that was the waist, hips forward on a hard ratchet, almost 90 degrees. Backwards, hindered by the butt plate a little bit, so you don't get a ton back. Thighs are right up here because you have this cut here for the jet mode. This one likes to come out. Knees are soft ratcheted, little shy of 90. Actually, so it feels like they're soft ratcheted back and then hard ratcheted forward. And then the feet, you got technically 2 joints here. You can fold down any way you want, and then you do get a bit of a foot tilt, of an ankle tilt. Not a ton, but it's going to hit the sculpt there. But it is ratcheted. I just realized that it's ratcheted.
That might help with when he puts his boots on.
It only has 1 tooth.
So we can take the sword, the hilt, pull out on the handle. So if you can see this blue bit will retract, and then we can take his sword blade, which is stored in his leg, which is a little unfortunate. I like that they stored it, the way that because the G1 also stored it and the MP also stored it. They put it in the wrong place. It's supposed to be back here, over his shoulder, because in the show he would take the hilt and he would just kind of go like that and then pull the blade out. It's fine. It's a little nitpicky, but at least they stored it on him. So unlike the MP or the G1, so the G1 you can only have the blade thusly.
Mm-hmm.
So he would have to kind of hold it thusly. On this guy, so I leave it in this configuration, and I just kind of angle it to the side a little bit, and I think it looks fine. But you can also, so they were, I believe Keith came out with a kit to turn the blade sideways. So what Hasbro did is they actually molded in 2 different joints, or 2 different pegs to peg the blade in. So you can peg it in that way, or you can just turn it, and you can peg it in the other way, the wrong way, which is actually the right way, but it's the wrong way. Now on mine, I've heard other people have problems getting it in there. I do have problems getting it into that slot. I don't know if I'm just not pushing hard enough or the angle. I might have a little bit of flashing in there, but it doesn't really like to go in and stay that way.
Maybe it's not supposed to go in that way.
No, it is. It's supposed to go in that way. I might be putting it in improperly, or I mean, I do see some plastic in there. It might be flash. I'm not sure, but you're supposed to be able to put it in that way as well. I just leave it that way and call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then he can take his gun. He can hold his gun. You can take the gun and you can store it on the back, in here, in there, wherever you want. You can do it across his. You can give him
a tail.
All right. Oh, also his shield. He can hold his shield. I guess if you want to have him hold it on his, in this hand, you'd have to have it underslung like that, or you can just do it this way. And there's clips on here, and there's grooves right here.
But you can't swing. You can't turn it one more time.
What?
You can't turn it one more time, so you can put it on the top of his hand.
Not on that hand. Only on the other hand. Because if you have it, I guess you can. What am I saying? This is what happens when we record. This is what happens when we record late. We have a lot to do. I forget. Yeah, I guess you could. But I mean, I would just leave it on the shoulder, thusly, and that just clips on like that. Well, you can do whatever you like. Whatever.
Not his shoulder.
So now the main event.
God, the guy looks like such a clown.
So to combine this guy up, first thing we do is we close the face carefully. Now we're going to flip the hands and put out the lion paws. And then we're going to flip back the head, the lion head, and we're going to pull the body through. Just like that. Put the legs to the side. This guy, just fold these up. There's a couple of tabs. There's a tab right here on the back of his elbow, and it's going to slot in. We can also open up those. And it's just going to slot into the wing just like that, which is the same way he does it for jet mode. So this all comes through like that. And then the head is going to come through. We can fold the tusk down as well. And that's just going to sit there like that. These come up and rotate around. And we're just going to kind of leave them like that. This white piece comes out and folds back down like that. And that is the backpack. This just comes around, and that's just going to, it's going to peg, that peg is going to go in there, and then these blue clips on the side are going to grip around this gray piece.
Hey, real quick, is it hard to get off?
No.
Okay.
You just give it a good tug.
Ace is good at tugging.
Overhand and underhand.
Mm-hmm.
That is the backpack. Oh, then we also come around here, and then these the guns will peg into these blue pieces, thusly. We take the rest of them, we split them in half. Take one side, fold up the toe. One side, which is this side, will have this bit of business here. So that interfaces with that, and that's how they hold together in robot mode. So when you split them apart, you're just going to fold that bit up. But first, we're going to flip out the toe. So flip out the combined toe first. Fold that bit of business up, and then we're going to come around here. Oh, we also have to flip that up. Did I do something wrong? This has to combine awards down. Yes. Combine awards down. Again, line up that peg in that slot and push it all through together. Now we can crack it in half. And then this yellow tab will tab into here. Actually, to the back one. And that's a boot.
All right.
So again, flip open the back, combine awards down, but close that back tab together with the leg so it all comes down. Flip out the combined toe, crack it in half, find the slot, push it together, fold up the toe, and flip up the port like that. So there's kind of like a plainish side and a busy side. The busy side goes out.
Busy side out?
Busy side out.
I don't know about that. I'd rather have the busy side in.
Well, then you'd be wrong.
Okay.
So we take this, and it's going to clip, so you can see there's an indentation here. That red clip is just, we also have to fold up the toe, fold up the foot. This little bit of business doesn't ever fold up. Take this, clip it right around that, just like that.
Sure.
Take this. Oh, this one keeps falling down for some reason. Fold that up, and that take the gun, flip down this bit, flip down this bit, like that. That'll peg into his hand. He'll kind of go over the elbow joint, and then that'll cover the peg. And then, yeah, that's basically it. That's him in his Victory Saber mode.
Oh my goodness. Anybody want a rocket pop? Bomb pop? Does he juggle? Can
you have a problem with red?
Cycle?
You have a problem with red, white, and blue?
Looks like clown, man.
So does he still retain the ankle rocker?
Kind of. Yes, but it doesn't really click out. And the combined mode doesn't have it. He's got some ankle wiggle. Like, it kind of does.
Yeah, it works. I mean,
not
see it kind of moving there.
It does move
enough where it's
enough where if you put them a little bit apart and push them down, it looks okay.
Yep.
You can also add the shield. Just go ham. Plug everything in.
Just plug it all in.
I take the gun. I store the gun back here because in Star Saber mode, this would come below the feet, the bottom of the gun. It would dip below the feet. But in this mode, he's got his high heels on, his dancing boots. So he's good. And there he is, all combined up. So my biggest, not my biggest, but I normally don't give a crap about hollowness. The one thing that does bother me is the hollowness in the back of the guns, just because you always see them.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they went the extra mile and just made those solid. I might get that DNA kit just for those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's 24 bucks. I mean, it's not horrible to
The other
get
thing
that
about
to
the guns
upgrade.
is they are a little bit. If you put the blast effects in them, they will droop. They're not super strong. You might have to go in there and put a couple of drops of Kiki in there, but they are fully posable, in and out, up and down.
Now, yeah, you did take those guns off of those mounts
Yeah, they
before.
unpeg and they have
Yeah.
5mm pegs. You can peg them someplace
Right.
else if you want. Um.
The DNA kit makes them longer too, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think they could have addressed some other issues, I think. Like some of the gaps in the figures.
Yeah,
Some of
I
the
Okay.
saw
missing
there
articulation.
was another. I don't know if it was a third party or someone just selling filler pieces. I saw someone doing that, selling filler pieces.
These really not hollow.
Well, it
Just,
was for
the only thing I really notice is the guns.
the little bot.
Yeah, it's for the
Eh,
individual modes.
Because
eh,
his
come
wrists
on,
and stuff. Yeah.
come on, come on, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, Wolf said he thinks there's another piece on the boot that tabs into Star Saber's foot. So I guess you had those red clips. Are there anything else?
Is it this? I don't remember if I took that out. Is it that?
Ah,
Oh,
maybe that's it.
probably.
Maybe that's why those parts were hollow. Or they had the little square in there.
Hold on. Oh, that comes out more. All right, hold on.
Holding.
Did it work?
Does work. I have to take them off to do it. There we go. Okay.
And now those shoes aren't coming off at all.
I mean, they weren't coming off to begin with. I don't really think that adds much, but we'll do it for the sake of completeness. And to be technically correct, the best kind of correct. Try to get them all in frame.
I guess with the red part of the toe, that's what restricts the ankle rocker there.
Yeah. It would have been nice if they somehow added it down there, but I don't know if they could have.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, this is the first official U.S. release of Star Saber, which is neat. And he does look great. He feels great. It's a fun toy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree with you. The only thing really unsightly here is those waffles under the guns, but
Yeah, and that's only because you look at it like when he has the guns, you're always looking up at them, like from underneath.
And the Victory Leo, the lion, I mean, obviously that figure's terrible, but I mean, come on. Take the shortcuts.
He's got one goal. He's got one job in life.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so if you're gonna take the shortcuts, take it on that part of the figure, you know.
Actually.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
Tor.
Nice.
So is yours MIB?
Mm-hmm. That's what he normally, That's what the toy looks like.
All right.
And Star Saber is underneath over there, not easily accessible. I don't have the gift set. Somebody wants to, hey, if anybody wants to ever give me a gift, I'll take the gift set.
What,
They
like an old
they released Star
Chikara?
Saber first.
Uh-huh.
They released Star Saber first, and then they released Victory Leo separately. That's the one I have. And then later on, they released them together as a gift set.
Wow. I bet that's pricey.
I have no idea what it goes for now. But it's more than I want to spend, especially since I have them already. But
Wolfie collects. He collects G1 like you, Ace.
Mhm.
Sure. I'm not sure how deep he's going, but
I don't think he's doing what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, if he does, God bless. But
Yeah, I thought he was. Wolf, I thought you were going all the way to season 4, or it's to include headmasters and whatnot. So I don't know if he's going past
see, my problem
that.
is if I watch something and I like it, I end up wanting the toys from it,
Mhm.
and that's what happened. I was like, oh shit, I gotta buy these, and then I started slowly picking them up.
Yeah, I mean, I had bought the Star Saber used at one point because I passed on it.
What do you
Because
mean? The G1 or the MP?
the MP. So I
Okay.
was gonna have. I did have it for a hot minute, and then I bought the Victory Leo from Keith, the Simba, right? And
hmm
but I never combined them. It turns out he was gonna be too tall for my shelves, and I bought that TFC. The hell was that combiner
Road
for?
teaser.
Lyo Kaiser.
Lyle Kaiser,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
so
and I
there's the
bought.
MP is right there.
Yeah, and I bought that Lyle Kaiser, but then I saw that it was also going to be too tall for my shelves, and it couldn't stand. Um, so then I just sold it all at one point
Mhm.
at
Yeah,
JCC.
it
And
did the same thing.
And
this
that's
guy, this guy came over to my table, and he's like, "I'll take that, that, and that." I was like, "You, thank God, thank you for getting this out of my life."
that Lyle Kaiser is a really good figure. It's such a shame that it's just the engineering that on the feet that killed it.
Yeah, I was kind of interested because there's a lot of jets in there, and I like robots that turn into jets.
I mean, he's got Hellbat. Hellbat's the fucking best.
Yeah.
Hellbat had there was a do you know Brian? Do you know that there was a 7th member of that team?
I think I've heard this before, but
And
I might have.
Hellbat had him killed.
Oh,
That's the way the Hellbat rolls. And then Kill Bison. When Kill Bison would come on the screen, yeah, see. When Kill Bison would come on the screen, you know they had their can transformations. They would just show the same transformation over and over and over again. When he transformed from a tank into a dude, he went like this.
oh,
Very good.
so hey, she got a Siege Jetfire.
Oh, jeez, I can't get him out. There's no way I'm getting him out.
All right.
He's behind everything. Jetfire is going to be bulkier than him, but about the same height.
About the same height.
Maybe a touch taller.
How tall do you think this is? Maybe 14 inches?
Here's
All right, so MP Prime is about 9.5, I think. I think that's the standard height for a Masterpiece Prime. So, yeah, he's up there.
I mean, it's very much. It's technically it's modern Commander class. What they call Commander class now.
Yep.
I'd say that because Commander class used to be in between Legends and Deluxe,
Yeah, I remember this.
and then they changed it to bigger than Leader. I guess not smaller. I guess technically that's the biggest one that they're putting out right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
oh no, bigger. No, smaller than Titan.
smaller than Titan, right?
So yeah, this guy is pretty awesome. I think. What was the? It was like what 180? Oh, the stand.
Yep, 180.
Mm-hmm.
So real quick, the stand. As you can see, he stands on his own just fine. You can take the stand and just. I think you can leave it on this side, but it's really meant for jet mode for it to be on this side, and then robot mode for you to take this, rotate this 90 degrees so it's standing up, plug it in this way. You can take this peg. So this is where it clips on for jet mode, like I showed. Supposedly, you're supposed to be able to peg it on here. So there's a little. It's not even a peg. It's like a quarter of a peg, right there. And you're supposed to be able to take this and plug this on there and have it sit like that. But it doesn't really hold like that. You can just take it and just peg it right back on there, and it doesn't get in the way of anything, and it's super secure that way. So this peg right here, we can take this and we can peg it right there in his butthole, right there, and we can just peg that right on in, and then he's technically floating, but just ever so slightly. Like and if you flex it, he'll be touching the bottom of the base. So he does not need the stand in any way, shape, or form to be able to stand.
But you could put him in like a flight or jump.
Yeah, if you want to have him in a pose, in a flying pose or something, then yes, it will hold him. It'll be fine. But if you just want to have him standing on a shelf, you do not need the stand if you don't want it.
Got it.
I feel like it's better in jet mode just because it'll actually hold it in jet mode and it holds it at a little bit of an angle in a slight pose. But for robot mode, it's there if you want it, and if you want to have him maybe doing a high kick or something and have him supported, the stand will work fine. But it's not necessary. It's not necessary to just have him standing there.
And while I was looking at pics, I did see that you can orient the blade like you had mentioned before.
Yeah,
So.
it's just mine doesn't really want to go. I think I can see a piece of flesh in there, but it doesn't bother me enough. And because I'm a G1 guy, it doesn't really, having it that way doesn't bother me a hell of a lot. But the only other thing I think I mentioned, the guns are a little bit droopy. So if you have the blast effects in there, they can't super duper hold their weight. So you would have to, if you want to have, because remember, it's a lever and the fulcrum is all the way in the back. So when you put weight here, it's multiplied out many times. So that weight, it can't hold that weight. So if that's something you want to do, you might have to put a couple of drops of Kiki or something in those pin joints and try to stiffen those up a little bit. But like I said, my only real complaint is these being hollow. Yeah. Other than that, it's basically everything I could have wanted in a mainline Star Saber. He does everything. Is every gimmick he needs to do. They even got the Brainmaster in there. Like there's really nothing else I can really ask for. We kind of knew Victory Leo was going to be an afterthought because it kind of has to be his backpack and shoes.
I forgot my gifts that I downloaded. Here we go. There you go.
There you go.
Blazing sword. That's an interesting pose. And then we have this one.
It is.
It's very Voltron. This sword cannot forgive evil.
Can't do it. Tries, it just can't.
Nope.
I don't think there's any chance that he can do the thing, so I don't even think it's worth trying.
Well, yeah, you did get the stand in there.
Yep, you got the stand. Know
what he can do? He can jump on the stand, jump off the stand, and then sniff the stand.
Bend over and then smell the stand.
There it is.
And that's just as good.
That works. He's just in that he passes the FIGGAH banging test.
But yeah. So unfortunately, this was a HasLab, so it was a Kickstarter. So if you didn't get it when the get was good, unfortunately, you would have to get it in other ways. Deathsaurus just backed, so we got a good year before he comes out.
And Deathsaurus is probably making this Star Saber more popular now.
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel bad for the people that said I'm not going to back it if they're not going to do it. Deathsaurus, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, look, there's other options out there on the third-party site that are comparable in size, I would think.
Sure. The
Plan
Planet X is probably about the same size, no?
Yeah, I would suspect that it is. Planet X did one, and then there's another one called Iron Trans is the
Mm-hmm.
company. They did one as well.
Does that transform?
Yeah, it
I
does. It
believe
does.
so. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, 'cause I know there's companies that's doing like the skeletons with the pieces bolted on.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah.
don't transform.
And Planet X announced their Victory Leo, which will combine with their Star Saber as well. So
And I
you
think
can
they
always go
they're
down,
putting out a premium paint version of it as well.
possibly. Yep. So you have those options. Um, I mean the Thesaurus from HasLab looks good too, but obviously you have your offering from MMC in both toy and tune aesthetic, so you can go
Well,
that route as well.
it's tune and IDW aesthetics.
Oh, excuse me, tune and IDW.
Yeah, the IDW has the broken wings, and the G1 has the solid wings. That's the main difference. And also the G1 has 2 Breastmasters, whereas IDW I think only had 1.
Oh. And those third-party offerings are basically comparably priced to the HasLab ones anyway. So um, if you feel compelled to have representation of those characters, you have those options available.
You know what I mean? And you can still get the MP.
Um, I don't know. I mean, that thing's been out for a long, long, long
I mean,
time.
Yeah, I just sold mine at
Aftermarket.
NWC.
I mean, it's been made. It's available.
Yeah, that's true. But that thing's terrible, man. Like, remember the elbows wouldn't hold up anything because they weren't. There's no ratchets in them.
Well, I had to fix mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Keith upgrade for that
Yeah.
too, and it
Mhm.
didn't help it.
I mean, you got the sword piece.
Mm.
Yep.
I don't remember what else came with it, but yeah, this is this is a fun, playable
Mhm.
Star Saber,
Yeah.
and it does everything it needs to do, and it does everything well. There are QC issues going around. I didn't seem to really hit any of them, which is
Yeah.
strange for me.
Yeah,
Usually, I get every single one.
The main ones were something with Victory Leo's face. Something was going on there. Like I thought when I saw somebody cracked off the bottom jaw or the top jaw that flips down or whatever.
Yeah, I can see that because that's very stiff. I didn't pull very hard on that. I didn't open it all the
Yeah.
way.
There's been some issues with the chrome, the gold.
Yeah,
Chrome.
I have a couple little tiny little pieces, but like you can't see them from a distance. Like you have to be like really on top of it to see anything coming through.
They should
That's
have
actually,
painted those yellow.
I mean, free pro labels exist. And they'll make a killing.
Yeah.
I know some people on the little guy. There was some flashing in the
Where
in one.
where
Yeah, it was at the top, kind of where the cockpit plugged in.
Yep.
I think there's a couple other things.
Sony from TM Reviews, that white flap on the inside of the leg where you combine towards the leg,
Mm-hmm.
they gave him like 2 left flaps or something like that.
Oh.
So, yeah. So he could still transform it. Well, he could still put it in this mode, but he couldn't put it in
Yeah, you can't put because the slots are there for the combined mode, combined jet mode.
Yep, he couldn't do that.
Yeah, and the only other real thing is like we talked about. So real quick, JD, before you came in, we talked about it. They're supposed to be red up here on the wings. Carry it over from here. They're included as stickers in the box. So what I theorized that they missed it when they were making the stamps or whatever.
Yeah.
And they figured it out later, and they said, "Oh crap, what are we gonna do?" And they just said, "Screw it, put stickers in the box." Because it makes no sense to paint this one and not paint that one. If you're already gonna paint, if you're already gonna put the paint on it, it's not gonna be much more to do that.
Right.
So I figured they missed it and then put stickers. I just didn't put them on yet. I got to put them on. But those are the only stickers it comes with. So that was just a little weird.
Huh.
But otherwise, this thing is fucking great. Like, I took it out of the box. I was like, this thing is... I played with it. I felt like a freaking kid. I was like, this thing is great playing with it. Like, it's just a very fun, cool toy.
That's good.
But, all right. Questions, comments, concerns?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Just somebody find one and send it to me. That's it.
I can't believe you didn't back it.
I know. Yep.
Did you back the sword?
No, I didn't do that because I was like,
hype it.
why am I gonna get this if I'm not, if I didn't do the Star Saber? Because again, it was that same thing. Like, huh?
Then you gotta find the Star Saber,
Uh-huh.
and you're gonna be like, crap! Now I need to find the source.
Mm-hmm. Whatever. I'm gonna help stimulate the economy.
I'll give you something to stimulate.
Whoa!
Stimulate.
Stimulate.
All right. Did anybody grab the chat by any chance?
Yeah, I got it here.
Cool.
We got Eric von Wolfenstein, Kenneth A, Toy Mafia, Lord Shadowkeeper. Haven't seen you in a bit, my friend. Welcome back. We had the Rock Jesus, Dust Mites, Joe S, and I think lastly Ricky came in here, and so did P Ferguson 19. That's all.
All right.
Yep.
Let's do some way ads and get out of here because I am sleepy. Mr. Brink, where you at?
At Brinkalizer on Instagram, hanging out in the Realm Facebook group. I saw a meme today which very much fits my life, and it was I think it was Will Ferrell cracking open a Budweiser, and he said, right now at work someone brings up an issue and you just like, sounds like a 2023 problem to me. That's the way I'm taking everything in stride right now. So, yeah, I'll see you next week with my 2023 problems.
And you'd be like, why didn't I take care of this in 2022 when I could have?
Nice.
Mr. JD, where you at?
Pigment surgery, shelf gravy on this channel here. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
All right. I am at A Smiler pretty much everywhere. Mostly on Instagram. I'm very sleepy. You're going to find me in my bed in about 5 minutes. But follow the other Cool Table Network shows. Follow the Cool Table Network page on Facebook. It's winter, so there's no shows coming up. There's no toy shows coming up. Yeah, that's pretty much going to do it. Have a nice, happy, safe New Year. Don't do anything stupid. Get drunk and do stupid things. Get drunk and do fun things. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we will see you guys next year.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Be safe out there.
Say it with me now. Really?